As you guys all know, on this channel, we cover tons of different crypto coins. And every once in a while, there's a coin that's doing something pretty amazing that's just moving under the radar. And today, I've got yet another one of these coins for you that I think is pretty huge, but especially, they've got something coming up over the next day or so that I want you guys all to be aware of, as I think it's pretty big, and it could propel this project to the next sphere upwards. Having said that, guys, make sure you go ahead and press that like button on this video, as I'm always trying my best to find the best crypto projects out there, and this is really cool, just listen to me. Anyway, we should start out by explaining a little bit about what they are and what they're trying to achieve before we dive into this massive update, and particularly why I'm so excited. I don't want to say it's the price, because at the end of the day, I don't think that's a good motivator when you're looking into crypto projects for the utility side and for the longevity of it. And anyway, I always recommend everybody to go over to CoinMarketCap or someplace like it and just kind of read a little bit about what they aim to achieve. This is for any project for that matter. And you can see they understand the problem. They understand the global financial system is just absolutely screwed, but it's huge, $400 trillion. And so they're trying to decentralize it. And having the goal in mind, they basically try to work backwards to get it done. That's simply put. And again, it goes under the radar. It's in the 200th position right now in terms of ranking, about $700 million worth of market cap, but they've literally been building things from the ground up for a good while. And it's interesting to me how this is not talked about more, but they've got a pretty juicy community, but that's besides the point. So a couple of key points that make it unique, because tackling DeFi as a concept is not that new. Many try to do it, but they've got a different approach than most projects you usually hear about. As it says right here, they're trying to do it with Crypto, which is their intuitive asset-oriented programming language. Radix engine, the world's first programmable, can't pronounce that for some reason, DeFi engine, and Cerberus, a consensus algorithm that provides atomic composability with linear scalability. It all sounds difficult, I know, but really in reality, it's not that difficult to understand. I'd recommend to head over to the website just to check it out, as you'll be able to find everything that you need in great depth. All these keywords that I just explained, they're all on here, and they've got a full-on learn section as well, so if there's something you don't understand, just look through. But like I was saying, their main focus is just revolutionizing the DeFi space, and just for fun, you can also see through this list some of the most respectable names in crypto have said some very cool and very nice things about this project, as, well, they are trying to change the game completely, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. Anyway, there's a couple things a lot of you guys should understand. When we're talking about DeFi, for the most part, people think about Ethereum or the EVM because that's what people are used to. But in reality, is it really that efficient? Is it really that scalable? Is it really that good? Well, that's highly debatable. But when we were just talking about this Radix engine, that is basically, in my opinion, comparable to EVM, and that's where a lot of the scale can come from. But there's a ton of other cool things we could actually show. For example, this right here, the roadmap. Excellent, step-by-step, the path to unlimited scalability, developer royalties, and great builder experience. Going from BetaNet to Olympia, which is now live, going to Alexandria, which is now also live, into Babylon, Xi'an afterwards, but that's basically this big thing. Well, let's talk about it. Here is where things get interesting. And this is the main reason I partnered up with Radix right now, because even though I've been a holder for a long while, in a bear market, you just have to look, in my opinion, at what these major announcements are, what these major milestones are, and I personally believe that Radix is looking at one major step right now. Take a look. Final Olympia protocol update released. The last update to the Olympia public network has now been released to note runners, officially starting the countdown until the sunset of Olympia and the dawn of a new era for programmability and usability with Babylon. Basically, the switch is going to be flipped. So what exactly will happen? We can refer back to this roadmap right here and see Babylon basically opens an open, self-incentivizing DeFi system or ecosystem. With Crypto, the language component smart contracts running on network, decentralized royalty system, and on network blueprint catalog. Open up fully featured secure DeFi DApp ecosystem capability on Radix. They were pretty exciting before with their ideas, and I always compare it to Cardano of, you've got a plan and you want to make it happen, but right now they're putting their money where their mouth is. And even though they chose the extremely difficult path of starting a layer one, and with this extremely, in my opinion, difficult language and definitely niche language, they're putting their money where their mouth is, like I just said, by actually getting things done. And again, if you're wondering, so how long will it take for cool things to come up, right? How long will it take for DApps to be available? They answered, DApps on Radix will start to come online over the following days and weeks, and of course will depend on each project, so do not fret about that. This is just a little frequently asked questions section because sometimes when you go through these very rigorous and very big upgrades, people get panicked a little bit if things don't work perfectly day one. But again, when you're changing the game, it's not about day one, it's about the next couple of weeks, months, years, and everything that you're basically building from this point on forward. This is just opening up the doors. It's not the 𝗕𝗓𝗀𝗃, right? We're not at the top of the freaking mountain. We've opened a path. Anyway, there's some other cool features that I didn't even mention. Human readable transactions, trade guarantees, and apparently personas. I didn't even see that before, where you can basically make your whole new Web3 identity. Human readable transactions makes a little bit more sense for people, I suppose. And trade guarantees just makes this line of getting into DeFi a little bit easier for the old heads, I call it. No, but generally speaking, people that don't know too much on how to watch ERC scan or something like that. And if you're already into Radix and you're wondering, should I do something? No, the upgrade will happen without you touching anything. You don't need to move your coins. You don't need to do anything. And yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention it's the next phase. Side point, and this is something I see in my community sometimes. People have often asked me, hey Dusty, I'm a developer, what do I do? Where do I start? Where to get projects to work on, etc., etc. Now, many projects have this. This is not a unique feature, but since they've got a massive upgrade coming up, and I think a lot of developers will flock towards Radix right now in this time period, or I'd say from this time period forward, just want to quickly say this before it gets too popular and it's gone, but they've also got a grants program. And the long story short about that is, if you're a good builder, you want to build cool things, you can get a lot of money for actually working on stuff. It's often overlooked. People often think, oh, I shouldn't apply for that. I'd never win it. You'd be surprised how many very small projects from a random village in India or whatever, or from the darkest alley of freaking Alabama, Ohio, pick your place, win it and actually are able to build great things. So if you're a developer, please do try, if that's your thing, obviously, but just make sure you understand a lot of things are possible in the crypto space. We could actually also talk about new things that are being built on top of Radix. Because again, like we said before, it's a layer 1 with a very interesting and unique virtual machine, the Radix engine. So we're already expecting interesting things to build themselves in connection to Radix and on top of Radix. And yeah, if you've actually never been into DeFi, one thing I can also recommend you is to go to the developers section of the Radix DLT website. Go to this ecosystem website, so the DeFi ecosystem, and it asks you, what will you build with Crypto? You know, but just a personal suggestion, right? Not look at what should I build, but just seriously kind of click through here, understand all these different concepts as they've laid it out in such an easy to understand mechanism that when you press all the D apps on the right here, and again, this is really selfish, but not look at, okay, who's building what, what's being thought of, but just over on the popular D apps that exist, you also learn a lot about what the most popular protocols right now are in DeFi. Just a little personal suggestion. It's not got fully to do with Radix itself. It's just a personal suggestion from me to you that these are some of the biggest names in crypto, biggest names in DeFi. And if you don't know some of them, you might want to check them out and just kind of see how things work right now. As you can see, they've also got a wallet and a very comprehensive blog with explanations for nearly everything and a lot of updates, all right? A lot of updates. Which again is a really cool thing for the community because if people are building stuff, they actually do like to share all the new connections that are being made. So if you're a new project, this can help out a ton for exposure. And they've obviously got things like a Discord, a Telegram. I believe their Telegram is mostly just for developers, but they might also have a separate Telegram for the community. I joined the developer one because I like to kind of see. And if you're wondering where can I buy it, it's on most exchanges it seems. But of course, I'm not making this video to make you buy the coin. That's completely up to yourself. All I'm doing here is explaining why I'm pretty excited about it and some cool parts, just like give a little overview. Because at the end of the day, guys, we're here for a long time and especially a good time. And I think most of that is built upon knowing about good game-changing projects. So understanding what they're looking to change, understanding their core mission, understanding their values, and seeing if you resonate with that, and then seeing the progress, seeing the community. But in my opinion, these guys are doing a pretty awesome job. And it's also just important to me to see that these guys do their work properly over longer periods of time. I've seen these guys work at it so long for such little traction at the start, but right now it's starting to actually pop off massively in terms of the community and just the overall excitement that people feel around this project. But yeah, you judge it for yourself, check it out, and let me know down below if you're excited about it yourself. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it. Make sure you go ahead and press that like button if you enjoyed it and the notification bell on for further updates, and see you guys later in another one.